Hey family, what's good? This is your girl, I am the Bronze Goddess, and it's time for another strawberry letter. Let's go get them. I've been married for 3 years now. I have 4 children from a previous relationship and he has none. We were typical newlyweds except hubby worked overnight. He did that until he got a new job in late 2012. Now he worked the same hours. Over the course of the last year, I noticed some changes. At first, he'd call me on his breaks to say hello and he'd do his best to get off work. Immediately after his shift, he would come home. Now he says that he doesn't need to call me during the day because he'll see me when he gets home. He is on the phone incessantly. Over the last few months, his bathroom trips have gone from 20 minutes to an hour and a half at times. He does take his phone in there with him every single time. If we are watching a movie at home, he is checking his phone constantly. If he is on it at restaurants, I'm gonna have to summarize this one. It's really long. He doesn't rush home anymore. She says TMI alert. He's even starting to check his phone when we are intimate. I'm gonna go ahead and summarize this letter because it's ridiculously long. So anyway, basically, her husband has a friend that he calls his road dog. And the road dog, her mother had terminal cancer, and this friend of his also had breast cancer. This person actually is a survivor, a breast cancer survivor, but her mother actually passed away. So this person, his friend, his road dog, is always talking to him about her feelings. Now, the issue comes in where they actually used to, or at least they have had sex together. He says they were never in a quote-unquote relationship, but they were intimate at one point. So the wife is feeling some type of way. She feels like, you know, he's constantly talking on the phone with her. Her husband he's always making references to how his life was different before he got married. You know, he did take on her and her 4 children, and he's always reminiscent about the good old days when it was just him. She's starting to feel like she said if it was a boyfriend, she would have been left him. But because he's actually her husband, she's not sure what she should do. His relationship with this other woman is, you know, for the most part friendship, but she just isn't really sure. And she's asking what should she do. Now, this particular strawberry letter, I wanted to do it because whenever somebody is interjecting themselves into your relationship, it really doesn't matter who it is, whether it's a parent or whether it's a friend, or no matter who it is, I feel like they are out of line. Because when you get married with someone, you are supposed to cleave to your mate and forsake all others. And I feel like he hasn't really done that. I do feel like he feels that he may have gotten in over his head with this whole thing. It was definitely a big culture shock. I'm not sure if you guys were living together prior to, or if he's just still getting used to the idea of, you know, having a wife and 4 children. I think he's overwhelmed. I think he should have considered all that before he married you, but I think that's where he is. And I honestly, and this is the part that's really kind of the gray area, and I cannot wait for you guys to comment and let me know how you feel. But the person that has breast cancer, the friend of his, the breast cancer survivor, I just would be praying that she would have other friends that she could talk to. It's not like, that's the part that's really difficult, because you don't want to seem insensitive, like, you know, too bad she got cancer, you're my husband, like, she is a survivor. But it's just the fact that she knows that this is interfering with your marriage and this is causing problems in your relationship, and she doesn't seem to care. What I personally think, and this is just my opinion, you should be praying about your own situation, but in my opinion, I think they may have had something there. They may not have had a technical relationship like he said, and he may think of her as a road dog, but the fact that they were intimate once, she survived this life-threatening situation, I feel like it may have been the catalyst for something. I think it may have sparked up some old feelings. Sorry about that. But I think it may have sparked up some old feelings that they may have once had for each other. The fact that he cannot even focus when he's with you. You said even when you guys are trying to be intimate, which is amazing to me, that he's still trying to check his phone. When you go out, he's checking his phone. He takes his phone in the bathroom with him for an hour and a half. Like, he's withdrawing more and more away from you and your family. And it sounds like you already made it clear to him, you know, that this isn't really fair. I feel like he tries to guilt trip you, and you know she just want to talk about her mom. She just want to talk about you know everything that she's been through. I do think that that could be partially the case, but I do think that there's a little bit more there. If she needs someone to talk to, there are support groups that she can be in. And I'm not trying to be insensitive, and please forgive me if that's the way that it sounds, but she's interfering with a marriage and she doesn't seem to care. She's being a little bit selfish. She's being very selfish, actually. Being like, I don't care who's my friend. He's my friend before you. He's my friend. but the fact that doesn't seem to care that it's taken a toll on your marriage makes me question her motives and makes me question her intentions. Because if I had a male friend and he told me that his woman that he was dating or his wife or whoever had a problem with our friendship, I would back off a little bit. I would. Because I know how important that relationship is to him. I think that there's something to it. I think he may, I honestly truly believe in my heart of hearts, like you said, he always keeps mentioning the good old days and how it used to be. I think he wishes he could go back in time and date her. That's my honest opinion. I think that there may be something there. All this talking, it's almost like they're courting. I remember, talking to my husband for hours. Talking to him on the phone for hours on end. And that was our process of getting to know each other. We talked for hours. We fell asleep on the phone. We talked from night to the next morning. Like, that's what we were doing. That's a part of courting. And even though he's married to you, he's still acting like he's courting her. I think he may be slightly overwhelmed by everything. By, the wife and the 4 kids and all of this responsibility. I think that he's already made it clear that he kind of misses when it was just him. So what do I think that you should do? I definitely think that you should pray about it. And I'm not opposed to having a conversation with them both. I know some people may disagree with that, but I just feel like there needs to be some boundaries set. Yeah, I understand that she's your friend, but you're his wife. And I feel like she's not respecting the line. That's the thing right here. I don't really like when the woman has to check the other woman. Because you're not married to the other woman. You're married to your man. Your man needs to make it clear to the other woman that this is bothering my wife. But if he's not willing to do that, that means essentially that his relationship with her is more important than his relationship with you. And that's very telling. Do with that information what you will. But I feel like there's something there. And the fact that they've already slept together lets me know there was a physical chemistry there. Or there could be a sexual chemistry there. But they used to sleep together. Are they still sleeping together? Do you know that for sure if they are or if they aren't? They definitely seem like there's a friendship there. There's a lot here. And they have a history. I don't know how, I understand why you have some doubts. And I understand why you don't typically, you don't trust him completely. Because he haven't really given you a reason to. Yes, he was open about the fact that they slept together. But is that something you wouldn't have found out on your own? I definitely feel like there is something there. I would pray about it. I would ask God to reveal to me the true nature of their relationship. I would ask God to show me what it is that I need to see. And I would also, be talking to my husband about making it clear what the boundaries are. You're a married man. You're not a single friend anymore. She can't call you all hours of the night. But I just feel like there's so much here. You knew exactly what details to put in this letter, to help me to come to this conclusion, which means you've already seen the signs. You said that when we got to a restaurant, he's got his phone. He's always got his phone. His bathroom breaks went from 20 minutes to an hour and a half. Like, what are they talking about for an hour and a half? What do they have to talk about? And I'm not trying to be insensitive, but there are support groups. If she really is talking about the loss of her mother, and if she's talking about, surviving breast cancer, there are people who have been exactly where she is, who can actually talk to her. There are support groups. I'm sure she has other friends and other family, but for some reason she wants to talk to your husband about it. I hate to say this because if I'm incorrect, this will seem so cruel, but I'm being honest. I'm not sure that she isn't slightly using this. And that this didn't help to bring them together. And I hope that he's not giving her all this attention just strictly based on feeling sorry for her. But I really feel like there's something there, and I feel like you have every cause to be suspicious. But you guys let me know what's your opinion. But her surviving breast cancer is an amazing thing. And it's a true blessing. But at the same time, that does not give her the right to interfere with your marriage. And interfere with your relationship. If she knows that it's bothering you and you are this man's wife and she truly respects the vows that he took with you, she would back off. But the fact that she didn't made me question her motives and made me question her intentions. Cancer survivor or not, I feel like there's something there. I feel like she may possibly want your husband. And from his actions, he may possibly want her. I don't know that. as I'm telling you, I don't know that, but that's what I would be praying for God to reveal to me, to let me know, do they want to be together? Are me and my 4 children, are we in the way? Because the things that your husband has told you, he misses the days when it was just him and all that. He's reminiscing about the times, you know, when it was just him and all that. I just feel like he wishes that he could go back in time and date her. That's just being honest and being blunt. And I apologize if that hurts your feelings, but you wrote me and you wanted me to be honest. I think that he regrets some of the things that may have happened. I don't think that doesn't mean he doesn't love you. I think he does love you, but I think that he kind of thinks in his mind, I think he's wondering, what if? What if he had married her? Or what if he had been with her? I don't know that, but just based on what you said, they sound like they're courting. He can't even focus when he's being intimate with you. He checks his phone while he's being intimate with his wife for her calls. That's a big red flag. It's one of the biggest red flags I've ever seen. I would pray. And I would tell him to make it clear to her what the boundaries are. And if he refuses to do that, then you can defer from that whatever you will. But I feel like you can kind of see what's going on here. I'm definitely praying for you. I'm praying for your strength, because if he does tell you that that's what he wants to do and he wants to move on and possibly pursue a relationship with her, you know, I'm praying for you and your children, because you didn't sign up for that. And you were trying to be compassionate and sympathetic to her by almost like sorry about that, but you were trying to be sympathetic to her by letting her talk to your husband and letting her vent and almost lending him out, so to speak. Not completely, but if you understand what I'm saying, lending him out, so to speak, for her to have someone to talk to. You were trying to be understanding. You were trying to be caring. You were trying to show some compassion. But in the midst of doing that, they got closer. They grew closer and closer. And now she's the number one thought on his mind. He can't even call you during his lunch break, but yet he's got his phone on him at all times, and he's got an hour and a half to talk to her. He used to get off early and come home immediately after work. Now he's like, I'll see you when I see you. There's something there. I feel like you know there's something there, but you don't really want to face it. So I pray that you're able to face it and that God gives you the strength to deal with whatever it is that you find out. But I feel like you already kind of know, because you knew what details to put in this letter for me to know. So I feel like you do know. You know something's wrong here. So I'm just praying that God will give you the strength to do what it is that you have to do, whatever that is. If you guys have to go to counseling, if you have to have a talk with him, whatever it is, I just pray that God will give you the strength, because you have 4 children to be strong for. And you thought that he was going to be there for you and your children. You haven't even been married that long, and he's already like, you know what, I miss the good old days. Like, that's really painful. And that's a lot for him to say. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do appreciate his honesty to a certain extent, but it's like, wow, that's a lot to say to someone that you haven't even been married that long to. Man, I miss the good old days when it was just me. And then here he is, every chance he got, every spare moment he has, he's talking to her. It just seems like, I don't know, I just feel like they're trying to date while he's married. He's still trying to, because I wonder what the nature of these conversations are. I don't think that they're all just lighthearted. I think that they're just talking and laughing and sniggling. And I think that, I'm not sure how appropriate or inappropriate it is. All I know is that I think that she's being inappropriate by continuing to interfere in your marriage and could care less about how you feel. That's extremely selfish on her part. Cancer survivor or not, I think it's selfish to interfere in somebody's marriage and could care less about it. And I think we're going to feel some type of way, but she survived breast cancer. She has no right to, you know, be interjecting herself as the 3rd adult in this marriage. If she knows it's causing problems, she should take a step back. And if she doesn't want to, then why would that be? What has he told her to make her, what has he said to her to make her so sure and make her so comfortable to call him like that? That whatever you call, I'll drop everything for you. Like, what has he said to her? That's what I would be wondering. Why does she think it's okay to call my husband all night and all day? Like, what would make her think that this is okay? Who knows what he has told her? I would pray that God will reveal that to me, though. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Till next time, later divas and dudes. Deuces.